Okay, guys. So what I want to do is this is actually a reshoot of that 3B video that I made the other day out in the field. I'm a rookie when it comes to making these videos, and I didn't realize that basically I shot the whole video off the camera, more or less. So I wanted to do another gear layout, kind of do more of a classic junk on the bunk setup and go through what I had in my 3B gear for deer hunting this year. Um, you know, 3A is once again my sustainment gear for that first 24 hours in the field, plus any mission essential equipment I may need. And then 3B is the gear that I would need to sustain if I was going to stay out multiple nights in the field. Um, and so for deer hunting this year, and I detailed it in the other videos, um, this was my 35-liter dry bag from Sea to Summit that I carried all my 3B gear in. And all the gear you see here, except for the poncho, was in that dry bag. So starting over here, I've got a surplus max sack that I use for spare clothing. And I carry a lot of spare clothing. I'm not planning on changing clothes every day in the field. Probably, a pair of underwear and a pair of socks per day is about all I'm going to worry about. So I'm going to wear the same pants, same top. If they get wet, I'm just going to dry them out. I don't want to carry around a bunch of extra clothes. But I do carry spare bases. And so over here I had a full top and bottom. This is the extreme cold weather clothing system. I think it's level 1, the silk weight base layers, top and bottom. And then I also carry a set of Kuiu merino wool zip off bases. And I would wear these either alone or on top of those silk weights if I want a little extra insulation at night. These are mainly either for extreme cold when you're hiking or more for around camp at night and to sleep in. I absolutely love these because you can sleep with them on and put your pants on over the top in the early morning for, say, when you're going to be glassing. And then later in the day when it gets warm, you don't have to totally strip down to take them off. They each have a full length side zipper on each leg. And you just pop that zipper and all you have to do is drop trowel, undo those side zippers, and they come right off. Great piece of gear. And then I just had a spare set of synthetic underwear and wool blend socks, and those all rode in this dry bag. Next was, my shelter setup, and shelter is something to sleep in, something to sleep on, and something to sleep under. Okay. And that helps protect us from the elements, helps us retain body heat by insulating us and not allowing it to either be lost to the environment through convection to the air or by conduction to the ground. And so we need insulation underneath of us on the ground. And so what I use, other than that 3/4 length foam pad, is I've got a Snugpak Special Forces bivy with a Climate Static V inflatable pad. And this is how I store it all the time. The pad is inside the bivy. All I have to do is roll this out and start blowing air into this valve, and it'll inflate. And so it's very quick and easy to deploy and also to put away. So I don't bother trying to put either of these in the stuff sacks that came with them. But what I do use the stuff sack for, from my Static V pad, is this is what I store my Rapid Deploy Ridgeline in, and also 4 Pathfinder heavy-duty titanium stakes, a couple 6-foot chunks of paracord, and some elastic loops. Those kind of help with different shelter configurations. And then also within the climate bag itself is a smaller bag with a repair kit for that inflatable pad. So that all rides in this bag. Next is my Alps Mountaineering inflatable pillow. And I absolutely love having an inflatable pillow, getting a good night's rest. If you're only going to get 4 or 5 hours of sleep, try to make them the best you can. This weighs next to nothing. You can blow it up to whatever your desired firmness is, and I've slept quite well with just this, even with no pad underneath of me. Next is the Sil Nylon Tarp, the Mest, M-E-S-T, from Bushcraft Outfitters. And sadly, I don't believe they're making these anymore. They just quit making them, I guess. So, but it's just a 5x8 rectangular Sil Nylon tarp. And what I love about Sil Nylon is how much it compresses and how lightweight it is. You know, I can pack this down and I could stick it in a cargo pocket if I wanted. The last bit of shelter gear is something to sleep in. And so what I really like, you know, I'm a big fan of the multifunctional pieces of gear like the Swagman roll. And this is another one called the Osney cloak. And these are items that you can use as a sleeping bag or even a top quilt. That's how I like to use it. I don't really care for sleeping bags. I prefer top quilts. But this Osney cloak from Wilderness Innovations is a great piece of gear. I store it in this medium Sea to Summit compression bag. But it has lots of attachments or button snaps running down each side so that you can snap it together. Like I said, turn it into a sleeping bag, turn it into an overquilt, or you can even put it on and wear it like a poncho. I'm not sure if you can see that, but it's very customizable when you order it. You can order whatever coloring, camouflage patterns you want. So I went with this ATAX on one side and the snow camo on the other, because I'm probably going to be using it in colder conditions. It is considerably warmer, has a lot more insulation than like a Swagman roll does. So it's kind of a colder weather upgrade. Next is just my hygiene bag. I just use a 1 gallon Ziploc. Inside of this, got a few wet wipes, a container of those Porta wipes, some Desitin for chafing, and then PFAC, which has some Imodium, Tylenol, toenail clippers, camp soap, toothbrush, toothpaste, Q-tips, and floss. Doesn't weigh a whole lot. I know there's some ultralight people, oh, you don't need all that stuff, but those are all really nice things to have in the field, and they really don't weigh that much. So, that's all away. And then over here in the corner, I just had a battery bank with different charging cables, mainly so I can keep my phone topped off, stay in contact with my wife, and so on, and also for filming. Then I have another gallon Ziploc bag that was for chow. Had a small baggie with some Earl Grey tea, bunch of Kind bars, and a aluminum spork here, and also a small container of Endurox RX4, which is kind of a protein and carbohydrate recovery drink. I would usually have a cup of that at night. And then I had my freeze-dried meals. Now, 2 of these are missing because this is all the gear that I had packed from the last time that I went out. And I was packed for 3 days, but because of the weather, I had to cut it short. Looks like this one got gouged. Got a hole gouged in it. But those are just freeze-dried meals that I've made myself with my own freeze dryer. And then, kind of gross, but I saved it for the video. It's just another gallon Ziploc that I put all the garbage, food trash into after I get done with it. I really don't like burying garbage. You know, the animals will just dig that stuff up and then it gets spread all over. And I don't like burning it. And usually I don't have a campfire all the time. So that's pretty much it. Nothing real crazy. This is honestly pretty standard for any overnight trip that I would be doing out into the bush. So once again, I just want to thank everybody for the support that I've gotten on this channel and also for watching these videos, and have a great day.